The picture I saw was when you protect those in your life, you put this beautiful bubble, like your energy expands over. But what's happening is all of the emotions and stuff that's inside of that gets trapped in your system. So you carry it. It's like you absorb it. You're like, Mama Bear, I'm going to give you a big bear, beautiful hug or a big bubble hug, and I'm going to protect you. And then they walk away out of your bubble and all of that energy stayed in your bubble. So moreover, they're saying, instead of expanding your energy to put it around, like for that place of protection and holding space, they want you to fill with light inside and actually have it be fluid like water energy. And it's white and blue and it's crystalline, and you push it out and it's going to fill your whole aura and buffer. So the space between the two of you is this liquidy, watery, really fluid flowing energy. And it has the sparkle and it has that saltine frequency to dissolve so that you can help them as they're releasing. It doesn't come into your body. It stays in that field. It's literally about 18 inches of energy. And it's helped them to clear, and then it protects you so you're not picking it up. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com. Hi, everyone. This is Amy. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. Today, we're going to have a beautiful session with Diane. Welcome, Diane, and thank you so much for volunteering to come on and share your energy and reading session with our audience.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here for the opportunity too. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Yeah, we were just chatting a little bit and setting our space. So feeling a lot of peaceful energy come in, but also recognizing some areas of discomfort that are already presenting in the physical body. And this can happen. You did mention to me, like the energy of the month. I'm feeling the energy of the morning. And being so sensitive, that's what happens. We can feel it. And oftentimes when it's more intense, or I guess I want to say like in this dimension, it's like gathered and pushing in the body, we can feel it physically. So today we will be asking our team, and I have an intention to release the stress, the pressure, the tension and discomfort that's in the body. And then also whatever might come through. So what I'll do is I'll tune in, and we already made a greeting with the angels, but I'll share again for our listeners what archangels are here with us. And I definitely feel your team around and the energy shifting. So it's fun. Like if I could put a color, I think a minute ago it was some bright hot orange and yellows, and now I'm feeling this pink coming around. So it's a warm, feminine, loving, peaceful energy that I'm feeling coming into ground at the feet, which I'm like, oh, that is different, very unique, and a lot of love. And I see a lot of this like sparkle glitter energy coming in through the heart chakra area. So I'm hearing a release of, they're calling them distortions, and that would be thoughts or emotions that are in conflict. They're not resonating with your light. They don't really fit your truth or your timeline that you're on. So they're pulling that energy out, releasing it. And in the process, this sparkle white pink energy is dissolving and cleansing the space. So dissolving heaviness that might have been sitting on your heart, And we're also working at this moment with the energy at the back of your head. So there was a pressure there, like kind of like a headband that goes around. That is clearing right now. That is releasing. And you might feel the lift of it, but you also might feel, as we move along, an effervescent cooling and a tingling. So, are you just share with me how you're feeling right now as everything's beginning?
Yeah, I feel relaxed and already, again, that pressure is definitely lifting that I mentioned that I had around the back of my head.
Okay, beautiful. They're showing me the tuning forks. And so sometimes we can pull energy out with the tuning forks. And it's like a technique is where you wrap it and then pull. But I see Archangel Metatriel and Michael pulling like a magnet some energy off. And it's just literally magnetizing and moving it out through your energy field. And so to that, we have Archangels Michael and Metatriel, Sandalphon. Michael, again, he's so strong. So his energy is really strong. I want to say his name like 4 times. Michael, Metatriel, Sandalphon, Raguel, and Jeramiel is here to help with inner wisdom and understanding about the interplay of timelines is really important. And then we have Ariel who's helping. So, what's happening in your reality right now is you're physically feeling a little dissonant vibration of moving timelines. Things are shifting. And you might say, oh, okay, I get that. I understand like what could happen in this life. But it's more than that. I see the time bands of other lifetimes. And as you're making decisions, it's shifting it like a puzzle. So it's kind of like when you move one way, the other part of your time puzzle adjusts. And I wish I had a visual way of describing it, but all I can see are these moving pieces that are like a patchwork quilt. And so when one piece feels like it's smooth or stretched and we're making the bed, let's say the blanket's all, disarrayed, and we make the bed and we smooth out one piece, the other piece is affected. So it's pulling and stretching through timelines. And they're saying, yeah, it felt like maybe a little wavy, like a little ocean wave, but it should be calming soon. And so that's one part of this moment here where Metatriel, Michael, Raguel, and Sandalphon are helping with that. And I myself, I'm like, oh, I thought they were going to say 2 other angels will be helping. So it's fascinating because they all have their specialties. And throughout time, they're helping those other timelines. I'm hearing the words fear and trust, distrust. So in past, you had some trust, distrust moments in other life realities where you had to discern who can I trust. And this was for physical safety in one life. There was a lot of masculine energy there. This other life, I see a lot of feminine energy. And that was more like, what friends can I trust to don't really want to say keep secrets, but to hold you in honor, like know what is sacred and appropriate to share and what to hold light around versus what to spread as gossip when you were going through challenging times. And so in this life, that might be a prominent theme or something that you've seen, kind of like I see a light shining on it, where you have been very discerning and you have taken time to really feel who can I trust. And so that is something that's healing within your nervous system, we'll say, like your energetic nervous system. You're starting to feel more comfortable. Like, yeah, there are lives, there are moments, there are conditions, and those that you feel that you can feel safe and at peace around, where you're not on edge or having to always check your back and question. So I'm curious, has that been something you've noticed in this life or recently at all, or is this just like completely new info coming in?
Yeah, I'd say yes and no. I think I'm a pretty trusting person. But I feel like it's more of a situation right now that I'm not relationship, that I'm not trusting if it's in my best interest to stay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not trusting my it's like I have one foot in, one foot out, like not trusting. I want to trust my, inner guidance with it, but then my head takes over and I feel like it's been back and forth for quite a long time. And trying to discern. Discerning is a good word. Where things are going with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jeramiel's here. He helps with relationships or big decisions because there's a lot involved. It's not just a yes or no, right? So whatever decision you make, then there's going to be a counterbalance and an adjustment that needs to be made within yourself even, and it will affect the other as well. So I'm getting a sense of clarity and peace that will come to you in about 3 weeks' time. So it's about 3 weeks for it to kind of work itself out. And that the work we're going to do today will dissolve or separate any of this like fear or doubt or insecurities that might be even really quiet, like a little rumble in the energy field that came from another experience. They do want that discernment to come through where you can look at it very clearly as this is this relationship, and not have the influence from the other relationships come in to taint it or make it confusing. And so, so this is what we're going to do today. I do see these little threads of light that are connecting you to other lifetimes, and I see them just gently pulling them out of your energy field. So it's like, oh, that string, this little frequency, we're going to clear and release. And I haven't seen anything that's blaring like a hot neon light, like, like fire, it's right here. Like there's nothing like this. I'm not seeing that. It's the little tiny subtleties that we feel. And we're like, wait a minute, am I really feeling that? What is that? And so it's maybe like a little whisper of an emotion or an awareness that comes through. And that's what they want to clear up, so that when you do sense something, you're going to have an awareness that, oh, that is this life. That is this moment. This is what it's about. And overall, I'm getting a message for you that they don't want you to put pressure on yourself. So whatever decision you make, it's almost like it'll be okay. It's just gonna have a effect, and the way that you're gonna have to adjust to move forward within it. So if you stay, you'll just have to know, how do you hold yourself and what are your expectations? And if you move forward, what is the gentle way of releasing or resetting the boundaries of the relationship? Or you understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 So, right now, if you want to take a minute, I am seeing the energy come in to do another bit of clearing or healing work around your eyes. It's the temples and then behind you, and it's a hot purple pink color coming in to soothe, which is interesting, but that's the color that's coming in. And then there's also little bits of pressure in the energy field around the brow chakra. So it looks kind of like there's energy that's stuck, and you have a really wide brow chakra, which is lovely. So you must do a lot of like interdimensional communication and work.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I have felt for a while that there's a stuckness here. It's like when I'm working with clients, I get things that come through, but not clearly. And I feel like there's something that's getting in the way of that.
Okay. Let me share with you what I'm seeing, because this is what I'm getting, and I think it'll make sense. So around on the edge of your chakra, there's a rim of kind of calcified energy it got stuck. And so therefore it's in this one position. So it's like this lens. We use our third eye when we focus. Do we focus in the forefront or out at a distance? And so it's like you're not able to move the lens, like, focus. So the dilation of the eye, it's not moving. It's not. And so you're kind of stuck on one viewpoint. And so if if the vision is not exactly in that dimension or that space, it's hard to see it. And so they're really just wanting to go in and kind of just pull the energy gently, but it's congealed. So we're going to bring in some energy to soften it, to release it, and then we're going to gently pull it off. And then that should allow you to be able to flex your chakra, to dilate it or constrict it, and be able to have discernment when you say, oh yeah, I want, like you have an awareness of what you want to see, and you can see things coming, but then the lens isn't focusing. So I'm really curious. I would love to hear from you like later in a few days, how your vision's, adjusted.
For sure.
Thank you. Yeah. So go ahead and relax and do a little bit of work here. And for those who are listening on the audio, we may put some music over because it might go for some time. And whenever you hear music in our healing sessions, I've sped up the time. So for the replay. So, okay, here we go. We're working on two parts at the same time. And right now I see a silver band that looks literally like metal. And so it's not the energy that would let other energies flow through it. It looks like a metal band that will be blocking the flow of energy. And that's what's wrapped from your temples behind. And so they're detaching that and then bringing in this pink and the purple. So that's the first place where we're working right now. What it was doing is it was quieting excessive thoughts, and it was having this mental it's energy that was affecting the mental body, and it was kind of like having it be quiet because it put this metal over it, this strap, so it would be quiet and stop influencing you and affecting you. But we're going to remove the energy that was underneath that as well. And it went down to the base of the base of the brain. So base of your brainstem there. Okay, so one moment. I'm hearing cerebellum in that area. And the way it would have affected you had you let it continue would have been thoughts and conditioning. But basically it was this energy that came through conversation or maybe the airwaves that was very opinionated and was like wanting you to agree with it. But your soul is saying, no, that will not support my life path. It's like you caught it and held it. So I'm just clearing it away. Now there's a lot of healing light coming in to your mind. You might feel it in your skull really intensely. There's an area that looks like it was lacking the flow of energy. So it started to, just the energy isn't there and it's really dim. So we're working on that part right now to bring the light into that space. But the anatomy, if it was decrepit, if it was crumbling, pieces of it look like it were, your team's going to pull that out so that it can have the space within for all the healing energy. Okay, so It's coming through. Okay, and there was a release, and actually some energy shot out your brow chakra. So that was the exit point. And so I'm going to work around your brow now. How are you feeling? Is it intense or do you feel okay?
No, it feels really good. Like it feels like a softening happening in my brain.
Okay.
Almost like, if I were to describe it, almost like the tension that was in there, the hardness was replaced by like a cotton ball.
Yes. Beautiful description. We had that really thick metallic band that was so firm, and it was holding things so it wasn't flexible. So now you have that movement and the new energy flowing. Yeah. Okay, we're working at your brow now. We're flushing some energy out. So if you feel pressure, it's because it's pushing stuff out. It looks like a soft-boiled egg with like the yolk, runny yolk is the consistency of this energy that's coming out. So it's like, oh, there was something getting stuck in there. And you should feel so much better after. So a moment. We're also releasing energy out the back of your third eye is what I'm seeing. So front and now the back. And they're clearing the channels here between your vertical power current and other chakras. I'm seeing the energy come through, and it's just like watching your system and pushing, clearing, helping your body to just release, release, release. The energy that's coming in, the picture is cucumbers. You know, when we put cool cucumbers on our eyes?
I love that.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing. So if you feel inspired at all in the physical to do that, I think it could be supportive. But this is like the energy on your brow chakra, on your physical eyes, and it's just soothing and purifying here. Yeah, I can see it happening. And now this purple energy that was at the back of your head that came in is gently flowing through and out the front of your brow chakra. So I would definitely say like this is psychic surgery, because we're doing really detailed work in a very specific and methodical kind of way. It's very methodic yeah. So this is looking pretty. It's stabilizing. It's like this purple light coming in the chakra within the inside lining of your the sheath that goes around it, so the circumference, but it's inside, and it's going to stabilize and hold it. And this is like a brace while we work to release that energy that's been building around it. So this should, I think, feel soft and warm and very gentle and nourishing as we're doing the work. Yeah. So here we go. some of it's peeled off, and then the vision is like if we're using a laser, and as we're peeling it off and separating it, there's a little copper sparkle that I see, like just one little, like little sparkle of copper, and then it's white light, and then I see your energy field sealing. So it's repairing at the same time. It's like, okay, we're gonna pull this out, and then this energy is sealing and healing as it moves along, so you don't have a gap and an open space of where that was. Yeah, just gently moving here now. Some of this energy went deep into your mind. So I think you're going to feel like, a sense of refresh in the brain too. Not the whole circumference, but there are parts where it had tunneled in further into the body. And other parts of it are sitting just below the surface of the skin in a tiny bit, about 4 inches out. So this is going to be so nice, I think, when it's resolved. Yeah.
I feel tingling, like where it was, that pressure band before. Now it's just tingling, and it feels good.
Lovely. Oh, I love that. Yeah. We're about halfway through, so just to give you an idea.
I'm glad I'm not lying down, because I'd probably be asleep.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I forget. Yes, we were. Well, yeah, maybe it's meant to be. So you can be present and still provide a little feedback, because energy is strong. It really is. I'm propping myself up on the arm of my chair because I'm like, okay, stay with us, Simi. You've been pushing some energy out that doesn't belong to you. And I don't know what it really means, but I literally see a black and white checkerboard as if it's linoleum or a rug that was rolled out. And it's rolling out from within and then pulling it out. And there's a rabbit, like the white rabbit on Alice in Wonderland with a clock. So there's some energy clearing out of you. But your body is like, get this out. This is not mine. So I don't know where it came from, but it's clearing out of your brain through the third eye. And I feel like if I want to use the clock, we were going around starting at 12, and now I'm like releasing energy that's around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we're about 3/4 of the way complete with clearing it. But it would just be thoughts or impressions and energy. And the way that I see it is how it came through visually. So clearing more. And now I'm seeing a scale, and it's one of those scales where you have something on the left and the right, and you're looking for a balance, and your guides are saying that you're balancing, but you're in the balance, and you need to, and it's discernment. And it's all about, there is this feeling of right versus wrong. And I'm hearing clarity is needed. And that's what you're searching for. And so there will be more clarity. It feels like your brain was trying to, I know you mentioned this, but I am definitely getting your brain was trying to discern. And I'm hearing with boundaries, what is appropriate? What is accurate? How can we move forward? But your guides are saying some of that, the information or programming or structure, which would help you to delineate, was based on old paradigms or earth reality. They want you to pull in the heart and the gut and say what's appropriate for you. And the decision can't fully be made just from like what's happening right now in this lifetime, because within all of it, it will affect those other lives. And so if somebody did you wrong in another life, and you love them so much in this life, but you feel like you need to speak up for yourself. But then there's a part of you in this life that's saying, well, they didn't really mean it, or they're just naive, or, like they don't know. The part of you in the other life is like screaming, no, I want to be heard and I want to be respected. And then the part of you in this life might be making excuses, or vice versa. So that's how, just a little idea of how there's this balance happening. But Metatron and Metatriel are coming in right now. They're bringing a lot of healing light. And it's white and pink and magenta light. And they're bringing it around those frequency bands, or the little strings that are going into the other lifetimes for healing. And they're talking about healing the wounds where you might have felt that you were not seen in those other lives. And as they're doing that, I'm feeling some pressure in the head releasing. So here we go. There's also some energy in the body from the solar plexus that wants to come up like a dry heave or a vomit. I'm getting a little nauseous here, which is fine. That's just what the channel, that's my life. It'll pass. But it's showing me that there's this internal struggle with empowerment, of self-empowerment. And it's confidence, but it's empowerment and trusting of self and discernment. Can I trust myself? It's a fiery orange, which is fascinating because it's coming from your solar plexus, which should, typically be yellow, but it's a fiery orange. And it's the flame of truth. I'm hearing like your inner truth wants to be seen. And at the same time, the Diane who you are in this life is so considerate, compassionate, kind, gentle, but with boundaries, that you're saying, well, I don't want this energy to come out of me and harm somebody or catch them off guard. So you're regulating your emotions in a beautiful way, but they need to be heard and released within your own experience. So this is allowing some of that to come through and be released. Just watching it here. You might feel emotions now or later on in the day. And it's just that like energy that feels like somewhat of a volcano ready to just boom, burst. But we're going to gently let it come out so it doesn't explode. There's been a series of 3 energies that want to come through, but I felt like you have done such a beautiful job, because we don't want to have our emotions just thrown at people or catching them off guard, but you've regulated them and almost compacted, like they've been pushed or held inside. So like maybe exercise, movement, talking about it more will help you in the future if this comes up again or something similar. It's just trying to get it out so it doesn't build. I keep hearing the word conformity, almost like like the energy feels like it was conforming to what was appropriate in this reality, what would be gentle, kind, and compassionate, but that it's almost at an expense in a way. It's almost like it's at this expense in a way to your own health. So we're working with that here. And at any time, if you want to share anything, please do. how you're feeling, or if this makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. And it's funny because earlier today, I think maybe like an hour before we got on this call, or a couple hours, I was having waves of nauseousness. It's like, this is so weird. I never have feelings of nauseousness, like unless I'm sick, but I wasn't. Yeah. It was just this kind of wave that came, and yeah, everything you're saying is spot on. So,
well, I'm really happy to hear. Thank you. Yeah, that's a thing. And would you consider yourself extra sensitive to energy and empathic?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I was gonna just presume, because I'm feeling, yeah. And the same for me. It's like, whoa, okay, well, we're gonna clear that out. But It's like because it all came out at once, that kind of a thing. You were doing really good, but it's like, oh, wait, we have an opportunity today to be seen and heard and clear. So it's like all that energy was just pushing to the surface. And because I like to teach when I work, I put you on mute because I had to belch like a series of energy, just like
Well, it's better
coming
than
out.
vomiting. I was afraid you were going to vomit.
Yeah, it just needed to come through. But this is nice because now I feel like it looks like, and I could smile. I'm giggling like a child because I see the energy now. It's out floating and it looks like little bubbles and they're laughing. So now it's laughter. It's like, yay, we got out. We're free. So this is just some stuff that you were holding on to. And I like, we don't need to put, there's no, was it right? Was it wrong? Like, it's not like that. You were
Sure.
doing it in a way to protect yourself and others, but it became like, okay, we were holding on to it. It just didn't get a chance to be seen or felt or heard. I feel like you protect other people, and I'm seeing that you've done that for many lifetimes. Do you feel like that? Do you feel that energetically, maybe you expand your energy to put a layer of protection over those that you love?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's really been my struggle. What is, okay, am I going to speak my truth here? Am I really going to fully step into my divine blueprint, whatever that might be, and follow my heart, listen to my heart, or be in protective mode of not wanting to hurt other people
Mhm.
around?
Yeah. So your guides are saying we're flowing into a new reality, and what worked in the past won't work for you in the future and for all of us. So that makes a lot of sense. But they're saying that we're kind of at this point where people have to take autonomy, like they have to have a little bit more autonomy and sovereignty and take on that responsibility. So there is a gentle, beautiful way that you can share with them what you're seeing as a discrepancy or something that they really ought to look at, what's no longer working. And sometimes it's just a conversation. So they don't want you to feel how, okay, let me see, because I can feel it because I'm very similar to you, I feel. Um, don't be extra worried about how the person will take it. If they cry or get a little emotional, you just hold space. Like, don't take it on
Mhm.
because they need to heal it. There's like words that need to be heard for them to be able to move forward. And now they should be at a space where they can hear it, or maybe in the past they weren't. And that's based on the frequency of Earth because it's pushing, Earth is going so beautifully into a higher frequency where it's having energy surface. And so whatever we resist is going to get more and more intense. And then it could manifest in a physical disruption to disease, even. And so by you speaking gently about and empowering others in the way that they can move through it, you'll be doing them a service rather than just ignoring it or trying to shelter and protect them. So there's so much here. This morning, I was having an internal dialogue about, it was a conversation, and I was seeing it play out, and there were two ways to approach it. And the one way was like, if somebody, just by the words, if they were to say it in this way, somebody might take it as an assault, meaning like the energy come at them shocking, like, wait a minute, like an offense, like, oh, you're berating me because I'm doing it wrong. So we're looking at it from the way, with the focus of what is, quote, wrong. Moreover, the better way would be, let's talk about empowerment and strength. So, you'll have the way of understanding that and saying, this is the situation, and let's work at it from this angle rather than focusing on how we don't want to work at it. So, your guides are just sharing with you there's ways for you to help people work through things when you're working with clients in sessions and you can see something. So, we're going to talk about their strengths. At the same time, what it's doing is it's bringing the information forward. So, we're not ignoring it, and you're just clearing and healing and releasing things for them. Now we're at the point of getting to the source of it. Like, what was the pattern, that the cause, even if it was past life? So that's in session. Then in personal life, the picture I saw was when you protect those in your life, you put this beautiful bubble, like your energy expands over. But what's happening is all of the emotions and stuff that's inside of that gets trapped in your system. So you carry it. It's like you absorb it. You're like, Mama Bear, I'm going to give you a big bear, beautiful hug or a big bubble hug, and I'm going to protect you. And then they walk away out of your bubble, and all of that energy stayed in your bubble. So, moreover, they're saying, instead of expanding your energy to put it around, like for that place of protection and holding space, they want you to fill with light inside and actually have it be fluid, like water energy. And it's white and blue and it's crystalline, and you push it out and it's going to fill your whole aura and buffer. So the space between the two of you is this liquidy, watery, really fluid flowing energy. And it has the sparkle and it has that saltine frequency to dissolve, so that you can help them as they're releasing. It doesn't come into your body. It stays in that field. It's literally about 18 inches of energy. And it's helped them to clear, and then it protects you so you're not picking it up. How do you feel about that info? And is there like any question or any share that you have?
I love that, because I grew up by the ocean, and I don't live that close to it anymore. And I miss it. And I'm feeling such a call to move back to the coast. So salt water totally resonates with me. I love that.
Beautiful. Yeah. And we can use the frequency. So you can use the physical salt water or the energy and connecting with the frequency of it. So it's so pretty. It's a nice and pretty simple technique to use. Lately, they've even had me share in private sessions with people about using salt sprays or smudging sprays, or putting salt in the humidifier and letting the air, come to the air of a healing space to purify and cleanse it. So if we don't have the ocean, we can create something.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I used to use it on my hair, but
there we go.
You need to spray the room with it. Yeah.
Yeah, clear and cleanse. Exactly. Right now, I can see some really pretty colors coming in for you that are merging in with your physical body for stability. And while there was part of what we did today that was past life energy that released, they're not showing me that we need to go super in depth with it. Like the information's not really coming through any more than what it had. They really wanted to show up for you today to help you physically with this excess energy that had been building. And it was like building as a pressure from outside, and then also energy from within that was a lot of others. And and your nervous system, I just saw it like getting really energized and kind of feisty and pushing it all out, like go time to go.
Good. I feel a lot of energy moving through my body right now. Yeah, so good.
Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, so it's going to be opening the space for you as you understand. You're a therapist, so you get it. So you're going to feel it throughout, moving throughout the day. Definitely 3 days for any remnants of emotion that will be clearing. And essentially towards the 3rd day, this will be your own voice being heard, like the cells of your body, the intelligence of your body and your energy. This like, okay, here we go. So you're going to feel like you're more online. I think you mentioned that you want to be in your own divine blueprint. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel like when I say we're online. To me, it's like I'm lined up with my energy, and that blueprint, the way I visualize it is it's an overlay that will start to be able to merge with you more, because you're in the frequency to receive it, where the discrepancies, which is, they keep using that word. So I'm like, okay, I like that, discrepancies. So it's the visual I see is the energy of others that's in your system. And now that that's dissolving and pulled out and clearing, it's going to be like, oh, there I am. I can feel myself again. Yeah. So let's let the energy settle for a moment here. I want to go around your brow chakra, make sure everything's stabilized. what we're doing is we're strengthening the energy around your crown and your brow. And I see where it's like a slight introduction. Everything's so gentle. And so this energy, they're pulling it down to your throat and then your heart, just to reintroduce a connection. It was always there, but this is going to strengthen it. And it's gentle because more of, I don't want to say, it's just brighter, it's amplified. So the communication is enhancing and you'll be able to turn the volume up. But right now, they don't want to shock your system. So it's really gentle. Let me see here. Because your brow chakra was stuck, we'll say, in an open space, like it was, the lens was somewhat opened. Now you're able to move it open and shut, like blinking your eye, but the space around it can move too. And so it has this tendency right now where it's feeling a little wobbly. So it's like trying to get its balance. So at the root of the chakra, the tip, the part that connects with the body, I see a healing team bringing in what kind of looks like a marshmallow consistency. And it's that indigo purple. And it's to hold it in place, like around, so it won't be wobbly. It's like, okay, we're going to stay here. And now we're bringing some energy in very gently. And what they're doing is they're checking the filter system, the filtration system, and they're checking each vortice. So one moment while we calibrate your brow chakra. It's actually really nice that they're doing this because there was one vortice that they have to replace.
I don't know what you're saying. You've said it twice now. Mm-hmm. They're replacing their what was that word?
Okay, so vortice, it's like a vortex, but one. So
vortice. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, is she saying floor to ceiling? What is she saying?
Yeah, no, thanks for clarifying. Like a vortex. So we have that big vortex and then the tiny little ones that look like straws. Really, I guess you could think of it like that. One of them was too shallow. So they're like, wait, why? It's not inserted far enough. So they're replacing that one right now. Better visualization, they're saying, is a pencil that's sharpened but hollow because it all goes to the tip. So for those, so it's like a tube that comes to a tip and it goes in the body. And these cones, these really thin, narrow cones, are what filter the information when we're using our chakras. Yeah. It's looking pretty. And they're putting different, literally like lenses over your chakra. I see it. There's multiple lenses and I see them. It reminds me when we go to the optometrist and so we're at the eye doctor and they're putting all of the lenses and they're like, so is this one better? Is that one better? That is what I'm seeing. So they're putting all these lenses and checking your vision. And the way that they're testing it is letting the energy flow through to see how your body responds. And so over the next few days to help clarify and test it a bit more, when you are working and you have these clear visions, share with them what it looks like to you. If you rather see more in color and it looks more like it's monochromatic, if it's just all gray or all blue, let them know. And also if it looks fuzzy, kind of let them know. So you'll be talking to your healing team and they'll always be working with you, but they're saying the time frame is 3 to 7 days from now would be the most important part before your system starts to set and get used to the work. So it's really more pliable and they can work with you more. How, I'm so curious, how do you feel? And like any other questions of these wild words Amy's saying?
It wasn't a wild word. It was just my hearing. um, I feel very energized. I feel really good. Empowering, I think, is the word that's coming to me. Yeah, empowered. I feel empowered and excited.
Oh, so pretty. Yeah, I feel like it'll continue magnifying this. I'm gonna call it like effervescent, expansive of clear energy, because that's one of the visions they just keep showing is this clear bubble of light around you. And now that the other energy that you were carrying for others is gone, it's like this lightness, like, oh, I can bounce. I felt so weighed down. Maybe I was rolling like a marble. And now I can bounce. I'm a buoyant bubble.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, they're really funny with their words here.
I guess I have a question, and that's just curiosity. If there's any information on how can't think of how to word it. What's been going on with me energetically is affecting my work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I do see that you're working and it's a transitionary state. It won't be forever like this. So there was the timelines and it kind of felt like they were together. And so they were ripping and you're like, okay, I need to see this where it's not all merged together. And in this life, you're going to see that too, where aspects of your life were separating so you can look at each thing individually. And there's about 7 different areas. So quite a bit of movement. And this is going to help you realign and feel more clear. But you would see that in the work that you're doing is what I'm getting. Like you would see that where things felt like, okay, it's realigning or shifting, or wow, I didn't used to work that way. Now I am. And also with the influx of the type of clients and the timing. So if you have the lull where, wow, I'm not really getting a lot of sessions, and then boom, you're going to get tons of sessions. So this is an intermediary phase I'm hearing. It's not permanent. But it's necessary and it's helping you as you move forward. Know that it will consistently get better. Like one of the time points of time would be 6 weeks is like, okay, 6 weeks from now, even. No, I'm going to take that back. 4 weeks from now, you're already in it by 2. So it was like a 6 weeks chunk of time where one big, huge part of this is going to work out. And then you're going to have another flow and it'll taper at 8 weeks total and 12 weeks total. So you're moving, it looks beautiful, but you're kind of ahead of it in a sense that you're in that space because you are a healer in the work you're doing. So you're going to find that once you make it through, a lot of your clients are going to come to you and they're going to be in this transition. They show me that they're talking like everybody has their divine blueprint and their path and the seasons and cycle of life, but they're going to amplify that with the energy of Earth right now that's pushing people forward. And it can be so confusing because we could just be like, wait, is this really this reality? I didn't know life was supposed to be this way. Especially the older we are, we have had a past to kind of base things on, and everything's changing in all the different aspects of life, whether it be physical or spiritual. It's like, okay, what do I see in the physical world? And they're talking about the platforms and society. So socioeconomical, political, religious, friendship, food, like everything is changing. And then you've got, how does that affect us? So you're doing a beautiful job transitioning through it. Know that your experiences and the funny emotions or the ways, like, how am I going to put a word to what I'm seeing? Well, once you can set a word to it, you're going to help others move through it as well.
Great.
So hopefully that helps. I'm trying to put words to it.
Yeah. It's like, and maybe you feel this way too. It's like, I feel these things that are going to happen, or I feel like moving in a certain direction. but they're very hard to put into words. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What they show me are two different frequencies of energy that are coming together. So one is lower and one is higher, and the one up high dips down, and the one that's low comes up, So it's just waving, and they touch and then they separate. So there's this contraction and expansion of timelines. And in those moments where they touch, it's this turning point or activation point. Sometimes it ignites something within us, and other times it's like, oh, I certainly don't want that. And so it's new beginnings and endings. And I know a few months ago, I had like about 3 to 4 days. I had nothing in this world that it made sense to, but I felt like it was an ending, like a dying. Like I literally felt like I feel death, but I knew I wasn't physically dying, if that makes sense. So it was like a rebirth. And I just had to be present and observe.
Yeah.
Like there was no other way to describe it. So we're going through that, and a lot of people will feel it come through. And what they're saying, you just float back to your laurels, your morals, your ethics, your beliefs, your grounding, like you know who you are, you center within compassion and love for yourself and for others. And when we hold that energy, that's our intention of like that's our foundation, you can feel like you won't float away and you won't get knocked over. Yeah. So, well, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for our listeners. Is there anything else you would like to share with listeners or questions you have for me before we close?
You mentioned, I don't know if it was before we started recording, that light codes were coming through, or an up leveling, or can you tell me a little bit more about that and what?
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you yes. Let's touch on that. So it definitely is happening. So what I was seeing is when we were pulling the energy out, first, it allows for more activation because that blueprint, I see there's energy running through it now, and it's the outline is blue, but inside is white, kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's an oblong shape of each little piece to this energy looks like a grain of rice, and it's moving and it's flowing. So it's really pretty. So that is happening where the system's coming online. I'm hearing you're dialing up. So you're going to feel heightened with accuracies of when you share things, and you're going to feel more in alignment with your truth. When you speak, you're going to be like, yes, that is my truth. I feel it through every fiber of my being. So you're going to have this increased clarity and awareness. And then also, they did show me that the timelines, the energy strands I saw connected to you from the other lifetimes, that this energy is flowing through it as well. And you're sending signals back to the past or parallel life, however you want to look at it. So it's clearing and healing across timelines. And in one life, you felt that you were never heard. So the other lives are balancing out where you number one, you're having to, like, the first step would be to hear yourself. So they want you to listen to yourself and honor yourself and trust yourself and give yourself credibility. Like, even if you say, I'm feeling this way, I don't know why, that's okay. They just want you to be able to relax and allow it and to let it come through, that emotion. So first of all, it's the light codes are coming in for communication and healing, first of all. But then you're getting an activation of an upgrade, because now your system is saying, okay, I've released, it's actually dumped. They say it was a data dump. You dumped out a lot of information that you didn't need to carry, which left you feeling more buoyant and expansive, and more light can come in as far as how much, the quantity, but the quality is going to enhance as well. So once the quantity comes in, you're going to feel really full of strength, and whatever that frequency is going to act like a medium. So a higher vibration can come in and gently lift you up to that new space. The picture they show me is like a carrier oil when we drop an essential oil in. So now you're full of all this beautiful energy, and now they're going to infuse it. But we don't just drop it in right away, because that would be shocking to the system. So it's going to be, and they're showing the 3 weeks. So it'll be 3 weeks for now. You're like, oh, now I'm more of all of that new energy. And you're just going to notice that within yourself. Physically, you're going to have more energy. But within that process, you might get sleepy because your body's adjusting. So the 3 weeks prior, you might need to take more naps or rest. And also your intuition is going to be high alert, like on focus. It'll just, you won't even have to try. It's just going to happen.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, I'm glad that you were inspired to ask me more about it, because I was so focused on the detailed anatomy and the work. It's like, oh, yes. What does that mean though?
I appreciate the explanation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm so excited for you. And I'm so happy for those that you're working with and that you'll be helping. They're going to experience an increase in session. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've felt, I just, like, part of me just knew. I just kept kind of saying in my head, like, okay, you need to find somebody who can help you clear these blocks, because whatever you're doing, you're not able to do it. And then I found you. And I'm like, this is perfect. So thank you.
You're welcome. I love it so much. So one of the things with the brow chakra, a little aspect of it was a programming that they're dissolving. And it was this energy of very rigid, like black and white. No, it has to be this way. They want you to flow more with it. And so you have your discernment. We all have morals. We all have ethics and beliefs. So they're not telling you to discount any of that. However, it's kind of like maybe there's 5 paths for somebody to get somewhere. So it was pulling that out of the energy field from like what it used to be for our parents and our grandparents, and it was designed to help us be safe and to get to the goal, like get to the finish line, they're saying. But now things are in flux and in movement, and there's different ways. So that's one part of it, that it kind of started as this subconscious idea. And then when you were working with a lot of energy, it embedded in it and it froze that space. So what can help you is to, if you listen to podcasts or read books that talk about conflicting opinions. Okay, but hopefully it's like everybody's very mature and respectful. You don't want any drama, but like, oh, well, I see it from this angle and I see it from that angle and this other culture and my friend over here. There's like 5 perspectives.
Sure.
That's going to help it reset, even within the spiritual community. Like, oh, somebody used to heal with this technique and now there's this other one, and we can see where it works, but from a different angle. That's just going to help completely neutralize that past programming. And I think that's a message for all of us. We're all moving through into new earth energy. Everything's going to be done differently. So something they wanted to share. It's like a technique to help flow through it with the brow chakra, especially because we use a lot of discernment at the brow chakra.
Yeah, no, that's really good. It's a great reminder, enforcer. Yeah.
Even for me, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I would have felt about that in the past, but yeah, okay, I get it now.
Right. Yeah, things change. And we're still human. We're still human too.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we are, for sure. For sure. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. I so appreciate you and all you do. And I'm excited to, I'll let you know.
Please do. Yes. Thank you. And you're so welcome. And I want to thank our listeners for being here with us today. And we'll see you all again on the next episode here at the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast.